Rhode Island just reported a massive cyber attack. Residents are calling in saying that their data is being held ransom. Is our infrastructure even safe from cyber attacks at all? Let's get into it. Yo, welcome back, guys. Glad to have you. Yo, what do you guys think? Is this the type of thing we need to just get used to in the coming digital age and kind of protect ourselves on a more individual basis from these hacks? Or is this the byproduct of some seriously lacking cybersecurity on an institutional level that we need to get fixed, guys? You let me know what you think in the comments. This is crazy, man. Yo, if you guys enjoy being here and enjoy the content, please like and subscribe and hit that little notification bell. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much, man. We got a little video to break things down and introduce what's going on to us, guys. Let's check it out. Let's see what's going on.
For 12 News Now, I'm Target 12 investigator Alexandra Leslie. We have breaking news now just into our newsroom from the Target 12 investigators. Rhode Island state government has suffered a major cyber attack. Target 12 first learned about this cyber attack late this afternoon. Governor Dan McKee's office confirmed the incident before 6:30 Friday night. Here's what we know right now. The cyber attack involves the Rhode Island Bridges system. You might remember that from when it was called UHIP. State officials say there is a high probability that personal info of an undisclosed number of people, including social security numbers and bank account numbers, has been stolen. If you've applied or received for any health coverage or human services programs or benefits, you may be impacted by this leak. This includes programs like Medicaid, SNAP, temporary assistance for needy families, the Child Care Assistance Program, Health Source RI Healthcare, Rhode Island Works.
Why? Why would you hack those systems? Those people, what do those even have? Those people don't even have anything for you to get. The only thing I can think is maybe applying for benefits to scam the state in their name or something, and then you route those benefits somewhere else. But like, what do they even have for you to steal, dude? What are you talking about? That's wild, man. That's wild. Yo, I wonder if they tried to sell the data and that wasn't working out and nobody wanted to buy it, and that's why they're holding the ransom right now. I wonder if that's what's going on. That's so weird. I don't understand why you'd steal this data specifically.
Long-term services and supports and the General Public Assistance Program. The governor is holding an emergency news conference at 7:30 on Friday night. We'll stream that live on WPRI.com and have the latest on 12 News at 10 and 11.
Yo, man, that's wild, dude. That's wild, bro. Yo, let's break this down, man. Oh, and it just dawned on me. Stealing the data, it could just have been an attack of opportunity, okay? Like they saw an available attack surface and they had some level of social engineering opportunity or some level of insider knowledge about the weakness, or they gained some level of insight about how weak a lot of government systems are. It could have totally been an opportunistic type of situation going on, and not actually people taking it seriously, you know what I mean, and really trying to make some money off of this. And now that they have the data, they could just be trying to make something work with it. That's what I'm thinking, because it's like, why target that specific group of people? That demographic doesn't really have much for you to get, you know? It's kind of interesting, man. Yo, cyber criminals could release personal data of many Rhode Islanders as early as the upcoming week in a major cyber attack that hit the state's online system for delivering health and human services benefits. Governor Daniel McKee said the hackers are demanding ransom, officials said without elaborating. The state urged Rhode Islanders to take action to protect their personal information, which may include names, addresses, dates of birth, social security numbers, and banking information. Yo, they got everything. They got everything, man. They got everything, dude. Are you kidding me? Anyone who's been involved in Medicaid, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, Child Care Assistance Program, Rhode Island Works, Long-Term Services and Supports, the At-Home Cost Share Program, and health insurance purchase through Health Source RI may be impacted, McKee said on Saturday. That's like, man, that's everything. I don't understand why you're trying to steal a bunch of people in needs. There's going to be a couple wealthy people that figured out how to work the system you're going to find in there, and they might have a whole ton of extra money on the side just because they figured out how to work the system. But I mean, bro, all in all, That's pretty wild. You ain't going to get much out of these people, man. I'm thinking it was an attack of opportunity, and then they went and tried to sell it, right, as just like a massive pool of data. Maybe they're one of these people that goes and gets these giant databases and sells them online on the dark web, or a team like this, right? They saw an attack of opportunity. They thought, hey, it's low-hanging fruit. Let's grab it, just see if anybody wants it. Nobody wants it, and so now they run in ransom. That could be that could be what we're looking at, you know? But also, man, this is exposing some major infrastructure, cybersecurity weaknesses on the state level. If this is happening right now in Rhode Island, we can expect something like this to be attempted at other states as well, especially if there's dollars that are connected to this. If there's no dollars that come out of this, they might not want to waste their time. But especially now that other states are seeing this, and they might. But if there's dollars that come out of this, if somebody pays up something somewhere, yo, man, this could hit state after state after state if there are not immediate changes done to our cybersecurity infrastructure, man. The system known as RI Bridges was taken offline Friday after the state was informed by its vendor Deloitte that there was a major security threat to the system. The vendor confirmed that there's a high probability that cybercriminal obtained the files with personally identifiable information from RI Bridges. The state has contracted with Experian to run a toll-free hotline for Rhode Islanders to call to get information about the breach and how they can protect their data. Yo, man, that's wild, dude. And the hackers are running ransom. Dude, this is crazy, man. And this seriously exposes a larger issue that we have with our cybersecurity infrastructure that I wanted to talk to you about, guys, because these attacks on states are on the rise. More and more of these states are hitting and getting cybersecurity attacks, and people are not hip as we move more and more into this digital age. And states connect their databases with each other for immediate searches of records and everything. Everything's moving, and everyone's data is moving more and more into online databases. And even if there are redundancies, etc., to protect our digital systems from being downed by foreign adversaries in cyber attacks that might prevent our infrastructure from functioning. That does not necessarily mean that we are protecting our people and our citizens' data from collection by adversaries or anyone or any malactor that would wish to use that data for self-interest or harm. And there are all types of things, even from a military actionable standpoint, that you can get from databases like this, like the hack that just happened, guys. So it's a serious issue, and cyber attacks on U.S. government and critical infrastructure surged in 2023. According to Forescout research, there were more than 420 million critical infrastructure attacks globally between January and December 2023 at 13 attacks per second. This is a 30% increase from 2022. The United States stands as the primary target with 168 threat actors in 2023, more than the second and third most targeted countries combined. And you guys know why? We are 35% of the world's global GDP. Might have changed. That might have changed since I saw those numbers, but we are still a huge, massive portion of the world's GDP. What that means is our per capita wealth is through the roof. So if you are running a scam call in a second world country, if you're running a scam center in a second world country, and how you function is by staying away from the cops and staying under the cops' radar, by making sure that all your crimes are digital and targeting people in other countries, right? You're looking at the U.S. as having the fattest pigs to munch on, okay? Seriously, because of our per capita GDP, guys. And so we are a major target out here, and that's why we deal in our elderly and stuff deal with these cyber attacks all the time, these phishing attacks all the time, and it's only going to get worse as access to this technology becomes more and more equitable in second and first and third world countries, man. Seriously, because they're looking for bread, and they don't have to come over here to get that bread anymore. They can do it on the phone. They can do it through email from right where they're at. And why would they not try to scam us out of our bread instead of robbing their neighbor? You get what I'm saying? So guys, let's pay attention to this. Let's be aware of this growing threat. Data collected by networks assured, which U.S. states have experienced the most data breaches over time up until 2022. California is the largest, but that's because Silicon Valley is in California. So we have a whole ton of our digital corporate private infrastructure in California, and a lot of the vendors that contract to our government on a federal level are based out of California too. So that's probably why it's disproportionately California. New York is an international city, another major center, probably the next largest major economic center in the U.S. right now, aside from California, and then and aside from Texas. But then we have Texas, Texas, Florida, Maryland, Illinois, Pennsylvania. You notice how these are the ones with the largest interests, right? Okay, so major economies, right? And then we've got a state right outside of DC where a lot of politicians end up having their homes. It's right. Pennsylvania, another one right outside of DC. Illinois, major economics. So you see, these have interest. These have things that foreign entities might be interested in, right? And so I feel like we can really kind of see what is informing where we're being attacked, right? And even more, man, Alaska has a disproportionate amount of attacks, even though it's low compared to the rest of the country. Interestingly enough, Alaska has more attacks per capita for how many citizens they have than any other state in the country. And that might have to do with the military bases we have in Alaska, etc. But yeah, man, no, it's a serious thing, guys. And I want to talk to you about exactly why this happens, right? Because we have certain infrastructure that our governments use, and they have certain procedures and standard operating procedures that actually make them more of a target. So I want to talk to you guys about that real quick, okay? Public sector cybersecurity, why state and local governments are at risk, why we see things like this Rhode Island cyber attack happening, right, guys? State and local governments have been increasingly falling prey to cyber criminals seeking to exploit often outdated technology systems and limited cybersecurity resources. Their vital role in delivering essential public services, coupled with the vast amounts of sensitive citizen data they store, makes them attractive targets. Attacks on government institutions not only disrupt crucial services, but also compromise the personal information of countless individuals, as we've seen in Rhode Island, guys. As nation states and cyber criminals are increasingly target state and local governments, the need for both practical cybersecurity strategies and collaborative federal and international level intervention is clear. This post dives into the driving factors behind the targeting of this sector at state and local levels, the consequences they pose, and what government entities can do to safeguard themselves from cyber threat actors. Too frequently burdened by limited security budgets, aging technology, and small IT departments, state and local governments have emerged as prime targets for cyber attacks. From social security numbers to tax information and voting records, state and local entities operate as the storehouses for all citizen data within their jurisdiction. Since they provide such a wide array of public services, including healthcare, education, transportation, and public safety, they are an essential link between individual citizens and critical infrastructure of the private sector. To complicate matters, state and local governments often rely on outdated legacy technologies and systems that are often susceptible to exploits of known vulnerabilities, because how hard it is to actually update this computer infrastructure. There is a whole system in place to get permissions, to have audits in place, to before you even able to begin incorporating your cybersecurity infrastructure. And oftentimes that is a very democratic system that involves the people that are using these systems, right? So you will have, let's say you've got IT infrastructure supporting nurses in a hospital, right? You've got the IT recommending security based on protecting clients' private information, but you've got nurses that are interacting with all those systems that are handling that client's private information that are not as tech savvy as the people that are protecting those systems. And so there ends up, because of how this is government involved, right, there ends up being this democratic system where they both get their say as to what ends up being the final policy. And there are systems in place where the IT team will acknowledge and accept a certain level of risk in order to appease the employees that are less tech savvy. You get what I'm saying? And that system in place needs major reform. And it needs major reform in order to speed up updates on a security level, and in order to help educate people that are using this technology at the client level, at the client side, so that way they are able to keep up with the security updates that are necessary to keep our infrastructure safe. That's what I really think we need. We need more training for the employees using these systems, and so that way we can update and progress faster. So that way nobody is left falling through the cracks, especially not the clients and their data. You get what I'm saying, guys? Already strapped by lack of funding and cybersecurity expertise, state and local governments further contend with massive volumes of sensitive data that are incredibly appealing to cyber criminals. Personal information, financial records, and even election data can be used for identity theft, fraud, and espionage. Disrupting their operations can cause widespread chaos, and stolen data of this nature is considered a hot commodity across the dark web. So now you can see why this data was stolen. And honestly, it would have already been sold rather than ransom if they could sell it. It's probably the nature of the data makes it a lot less valuable in the market that these guys are referring to right here, which is why they turned around and hit it for the ransom. Ransom gets you a lot of attention. A ransom is really hot. If you can sneak in and sneak out with nobody noticing, you can sell the data, and who even knows, maybe they'll just find it on the dark web a year from now, 2 years from now, and then they're left trying to piece together what happened later, right? So the whole ransom situation is not what the cyber criminals even desire to do to begin with. So it's telling me that maybe the information they stole is not as valuable as they would like it to be. And here's the thing. In order to get the ransom to be paid, in order to validate future ransoms, if the state and if somebody does not pay that ransom, they will post that information for free online, just so that next time they do this and they start running a ransom, somebody doesn't want that information posted online, they might pay just so it's not posted for free. That's how this stuff usually works, guys. The challenge of ransomware, how state and local governments are impacted. Ransomware has been around for 3 decades. In recent years have changed public's perception of how successful attack can affect their day-to-day lives. Prominent examples such as attacks on Colonial Pipeline, JBS Foods, and most recent disruption of Dallas 911 computer system, water systems, court services put a magnifying glass on how widespread the aftermath can be for citizens, and so does this most recent cybersecurity attack in Rhode Island, guys. So we went through the most important parts here. I think we got everything done. Went a little longer than I wanted to, but I just wanted to explain exactly how and why and what's going on with the context of all this cybersecurity, the developing cybersecurity threat moving into the future. If you guys have any ideas on this, let me know. How should we approach this? Should we pressure governments? Should we pass new laws? Are they ignoring the ones we have on the books? What do you guys think? Should we have more individual protections in place rather than relying on the government to do it? Or, this is state infrastructure, man. Should we demand that state-operated infrastructure have a certain cybersecurity standard that is above where it's at? So just let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. I appreciate you guys being here. And guys, please, if you like what you see here, check out any one of these videos. And I have music, and I think it's pretty good. So please, guys, check any of this stuff out that you see on the screen right here. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you on the next segment.